doing?
Gucci.
Gucci. All right. Eye of the Tiger. Tiger Woods gets the green jacket. That's a huge topic in sports today. Hello, everybody. Tommy McKean, Jacob Conway. We're here for Second Take. Season 2 has been a blast so far. Unfortunately, John cannot join us tonight. He has other matters to attend to. But you still have these two geniuses to bring you live sports coverages on a Monday night. Where else would you rather be spending your time on a Monday night without us? So, let's get the ball rolling here. Sponsorships, as always. Coors Light, when the mountains of blue climb on. Cool Whip, Mountain Dew. If anybody could find us the birthday cake, Cool Whip, we would be more than happy to have that on the show. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you know what you're telling me about?
Yeah, I was telling you about it. He doesn't listen to me, guys. I don't know.
I don't like Cool.
Don't like Cool.
No.
Have you ever had it?
Yes. I don't get it. I just don't even get it.
He's mad that Chex Mix is no longer a sponsorship on Second Take.
Because I eat it.
He ruined that sponsorship real quick. Before we get the show started, let's give two honorable mentions. Buffalo Wings and Rings, 35th and Halsted. Tommy and I are going to work our way down there. It's a great place. I can speak on behalf. He's only heard my words. John and Irene, two comments that you see all the time, followers, and my mother. We all went there. We enjoyed it. Great management, great foods, great beer. Not that I know, but it's a great place to catch a game. Free tailgating for the White Sox instead of paying the $25 to park. All you got to do is spend half of that on wings and beer, and you get a buzz before the game and then after the game. So it's definitely a win-win. You get free beer. Not free beer. Free shuttle. You get beer and you get wings, and you get to catch the game. Canute's Pizza. They are also a huge help for us. Half-price pizza on Monday nights, so maybe that's a little deal you can do. Watch Second Take, get half-price pizza. Tommy and I love Canute's. We have it every time we hang out. Although we don't hang out much because he does not answer his phone. He does not answer his phone. But either way, we still do Second Take and we like it. So Canute's is a great place. They got good wings. What do you like from Canute's?
I like pizza.
He likes pizza, so you get this guy a pizza, he'll probably show up on time. Unlike today. Oh no, you were on time today.
Yeah, I was on time.
I've
been on time like the last 3 times. I have.
Real quick before we get into the sports and our birthday shout-outs, Second Take would like to send our thoughts and prayers to Paris as the Notre Dame Cathedral is suffering a casualty today. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Paris and the Notre Dame family. Hopefully everything goes smoothly there and recovers, get the damage under control. Haven't really heard much of it. It's just a casualty that unfortunately we are dealt with. So let's play our cards right and get this taken care of. Get the ball rolling. Notre Dame, South Bend. You ever been there?
Nope. Have you?
I have.
You have.
Not for a football game.
I thought you went to
No.
their stadium.
For a hockey game. I went for the Winter Classic. And beautiful campus. As an ice rink, I guess. Football, I would assume it would be the same thing. But other than that, I liked it. Great experience. I mean, old school. That's what it is. It's an old school. It's a great venue to go to. Traditional. So, before he takes over NBA, let's get a couple birthday shout-outs going. His sister, Kaylin, 25.
25.
Spent her 25th birthday in Disneyland, right? Yep. Disneyland. Where else to be a kid?
Well,
What?
While my sister was celebrating her 25th in California, I think the day they were at Disney, we called to find out how to try to work this game, Sims, if you're familiar with it. So we had a FaceTime. We sat there and we thought about it. We're like, wow. Like, while my sister and her friends are out at Disney, we're just here trying to play Sims.
Trying to play Sims on a computer. I mean, we're 19-year-olds on a Friday night trying to play Sims. They're 25 at Disney, living it up, and they're getting calls from us. Can we get your passcode? So, I don't know if that ruined the birthday, but hopefully it didn't. They had a good time. A couple other birthdays. Karen Lee, Officer Lee, security guard, Bremen High School. I know, I love her. probably loves you too, but I know a lot of people do. Cubs fan, Aunt Kim and Nina Silva. You remember Nina?
I do.
So happy birthday, you guys. Without further ado, Tommy's going to take us into the NBA.
All right. So there was a league vote, and the players, amongst all the players, they voted Russell Westbrook as the most overrated player in the league. What are your thoughts on that?
We talked about it when he had that incident with that fan.
Oh my
In
gosh.
Utah, was it?
Yep.
Completely agree. Stand by that statement or the vote, 100%. If it wasn't him, it would be LeBron. So LeBron probably comes in second, unless they're in a tie
It
for
was
first place.
Draymond Green and Russell Westbrook were the two most overrated players in the league.
All right.
See, to me, I think a lot of people just voted Russell Westbrook because they think that he chases triple doubles, which again is a hard thing to do, even if you're purposely trying to do it. So to me, that's just a lot of players hating, thinking that he just chases triple doubles. Yeah, Shaham says he should be the MVP 3 years in a row. He averaged a triple double. It's unheard of. He needs to get his respect, honestly, and this is a big reason why I picked OKC to go all the way. Russell Westbrook is going to earn his respect this playoffs. Same thing with Paul George. He's going to show he's a top 10 player in the league.
Because KD could possibly, not KD, Russell Westbrook could possibly carry his team, unlike your other guy in LA.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Paul George and Russell Westbrook together are on a mission to prove people who doubted them wrong.
Lonzo Ball and LeBron. What happened there?
Lonzo Ball was hurt a lot. LeBron was hurt a lot.
Goodness.
They would be right in there if that never happened. Yeah, but to me, this is stupid. It's just NBA players hating that he, for the 3rd year in a row, got a triple-double.
So just because you get a triple-double 3 years in a row. I'm not saying...
It's unheard of.
It's unheard of. Good. So you get MVP right then and there.
I mean, the first year he got MVP, they were like, whoa, he averaged a triple-double MVP. So the second time, he didn't. And now the third time, he didn't. It's like people aren't taking it as serious. Right. Nobody in NBA history has averaged 3 straight triple-double seasons. OKC all the way. Paul George and Russell Westbrook.
Drop your NBA MVP comments. Let's see if you guys agree with us.
And I think Paul George was really a legit MVP candidate until like the last month of the season.
So before the last month of the season, back, you thought
I thought Paul
OKC
George,
was definitely getting MVP.
I thought Paul George would make a case. Paul George did make a case. He'll be in the top 3 of MVP voting. It's just
Who is the top 3?
I don't think they've announced it yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be
Who's your top 3?
James Harden, Giannis, and Paul George. And I think it should. Paul George was making a case until he kind of fell off at the end of the year. I think now it'll probably be Giannis. James Harden, the 35 or 6 points, whatever he averaged. I mean, he's a scorer. So to me, it's not as impressive as Paul George. Paul George stepped up big time this year, and he helped OKC in a lot of games. Russell Westbrook had a down year point per game wise, and Paul George stepped up, and he was essentially what KD was before when KD was in OKC. And they made some runs. They made some runs with KD and Westbrook. And if you really want to get technical, Durant was kind of the one who choked it away when they were up 3-1 against Golden State. So, Paul George is a different creature than Kevin Durant.
All right. If KD choked it for the Warriors, and you're admitting
No,
this.
KD choked it for OKC.
OKC.
Yeah, against the Warriors.
So if you're admitting that, who choked it for the Lakers missing the playoffs this year?
Injuries.
Not the coach that they fired. Oh, it is the coach they fired.
It's coaching. It's injuries. It's management. That's why they're all
Hang on.
done.
So we're naming everything. We can name the fans. We can name the arena they play in. But we're not going to name the 2 star players they got.
LeBron had an okay year. LeBron didn't have a bad year.
Where? In your 2K
Lonzo
season?
Lonzo Ball was hurt most of the year. He was having a good year too. He was putting together a couple good games.
Couple good games.
Before he got hurt, he was on a string of good games. He was hitting stride, and then he got hurt. LeBron James can't do it by himself. I don't understand that everyone says LeBron is the one who made that roster. LeBron his first choices were not Rajon Rondo, who's like 50 and looks like a turtle, and can't shoot. His play is like in the past. It's way overdue. He's not an effective player anymore. Lance Stevenson. I mean, I love Lance Stevenson, but again, not a top guy. Like anyone that they brought in, those aren't LeBron's top guys.
He's the best in the world. Why do you need a top guy? Why do you need a top guy with you?
I mean,
you got guys who carry their team.
But this is who? Besides Giannis, who carries their team?
Now we're doing besides people, huh?
Okay, one.
Don't put me on the spot.
This is what I'm saying. There's super teams. You got
that LeBron
Houston,
was always on. LeBron was always on a super
team. Okay, but you have
team.
Houston with Chris Paul, James Harden. Every team has at least 2. The Warriors have 5. 4 like legit superstars on the Warriors. But every team has more than one guy. Every legit team that's contending right now.
When LeBron was contending, he was always on a super team.
Not his very first NBA title run.
For real.
They lost.
What about his last 4 or whatever?
Okay,
Kyrie,
they played
Kevin
teams
Love.
that were equally as good.
You're the
You have
best
San
in the world.
Antonio,
You're King
you had-
James. You're King James.
Against San Antonio, they had Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard. OKC had KD, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. The Warriors are the Warriors. They had their team.
So you're saying LeBron never had a team?
He did have a team, I'm
So
saying.
why? Why would he lose if he had a team? And he's the best in the world, and you had a team, and you still lose. How is that possible?
Right. Like Shaham, you need to get in the comments more. You're making some good points.
Shaham's winning his battle.
You don't win a championship with 1 All-Star against 5. That's just that simple.
You're telling me LeBron brought that team to the finals. It wasn't any of his other teams.
No, I'm not
Where was
talking
the
about
other
I'm
teams?
talking about right now with the
Oh.
Lakers. Okay, first of all, if he would have played the whole year, they would have made the playoffs. As a lower seed, okay? Let's get that out the way. If Lonzo Ball played most of the year,
Higher seed.
they'd be a little bit of a higher
Oh,
seed.
yeah? Like 4th or
Still
5th?
in the middle of the pack.
Missed the pack, okay.
So, it's just that LeBron James can't do it by himself with the teams in the league now. You need more than one guy. That's just how it's going to be. Right
Do
now,
you want Kyrie to go to LA? Or, because that's who we could win with. I mean, Dwayne Wade
could
retiring,
win it with.
so.
he could win it. If Kyrie went to LA, they would be contenders again. But I think that they have the guys there. They just had bad coaching. And they had injuries.
Well, they fired their coach, so.
Yeah, so now they're going to do something else there.
Okay.
That's one step.
There you go.
That's one step of helping LeBron, which is something they have not done yet. I don't care if you say they brought in all those guys. Like I said, Rondo, Stevenson, they're not huge game changers.
So, they shut down LeBron the last 2 weeks of the season, I
Which
think
was
it was.
right. Which is the
So
right
then,
thing to do.
for a groin injury, right?
Okay, no, but they shut him down because they don't want to
And then
risk.
You see LeBron
sitting
doing.
down.
You see LeBron doing these kind of dance moves, like that. That uses your groins.
Look,
He's not a team player. When his team's down, he gives up.
You shut your player down when you're out of the playoffs with 2 weeks left because you don't want him to get hurt. And,
You got the whole offseason to recover.
okay.
If that was the case, the Blackhawks would have
ACL?
sat or his basketball defense.
Okay, let's not talk about hockey because 1, hockey sucks. 2, the Blackhawks suck.
Okay.
Get that out.
Okay, so now we're talking about sports being different. But
No,
when
but
you're
look.
out of, so you're giving up on your team.
How
That's what
many
you're saying.
how many
So
people
the
tear
fans
how many
that-
people tear ACLs in hockey? Not as often as they do in the NBA.
Oh my goodness.
If you tear your ACL, you're out pretty much the whole next year. So they can't take that risk with the best player in the world because even though I think they'll be a playoff team.
Look at LeBron's injury list. It's like cramps or like how I pulled a hammy. That's his injuries. I mean, he's out for a month.
And you can't risk
You
it.
give up on your team.
You don't
You go to
risk
LA to go
it.
see LeBron. Guess what? They shut him down. So guess what? You waste your $70 for tickets for
Okay,
the nosebleed
that's
just
like
to see
saying-
LeBron, and
that's
he's
like-
sitting on the bench. And the
That's
same
like
stuff
saying
you're wearing.
that's like saying when NFL teams rest their guys that last game of the year.
When they're in the playoffs. And fans should expect that. Like if you go to a New England Patriots game, you should expect in Week 14 not to see Tom Brady. Week 15 not to see Tom Brady, or not to see him the whole game. But LeBron, you're out of the
It's
playoffs,
not
so you're going to shut him
about.
down. Okay?
Well, it's not about the fans. For the players themselves, it's not about the fans. They could care less what the
Then
fans
that shows
think.
you what kind of player you are.
It shows you that you care more about the game than whoever's watching you.
More about yourself than the game.
No,
And about your paycheck that you're making.
he cares about the team. LeBron didn't want LeBron didn't go to Chris Bosh's ceremony because he wanted to play with his
Because he
team.
would have got fined. Because he said it in his statement. Pull it up. He would have got fined. That's why.
And because he wanted to be
No,
with
he
his
didn't. Stop,
team.
dude, stop lying. You're laughing because you know you're lying.
Okay, but look, LeBron would have wanted to play. They shut LeBron down. They told LeBron he can't. They didn't want
Because
him
every
to play.
time he was coming to the I don't know what to say on live TV.
Because they're
but
not going to risk hurting the best player in the world, best player of all time, for some games that mean nothing. The games meant nothing at that point.
Because you don't give it your all in the beginning of the season. Or because your other star player is hurt and you can't win games with injuries, even though all teams do.
Oh my gosh, they're a young team.
So they're going to the
The
finals
Lakers
next year,
are
right?
a young
They're going to
team.
the finals
Yes, they're
next
going
year?
to the finals next year. But here's the thing: they'll be healthy next year. No, this is bearing that they're healthy and that LeBron is healthy all year. Then they're going to the finals.
You got anything else on NBA? Because I don't know what else to say. He's pretty stuck on LeBron.
Well, I was gonna talk about how OKC, why I picked OKC to win it.
There you go. Let's talk about our bracket.
I touched on it pretty much completely. Like I said, Paul George, his best season in a long, long time. And Russell Westbrook just got voted most overrated player in the league. And, like, that's one of the guys you don't want to talk. Like, you know as, like, an NFL player that you don't talk stuff to Tom Brady before a game. Because why? You're going to get him hyped up
Get
and
him
he's going to
going.
go. Russell Westbrook is a guy who plays off his emotions at all times. Always has a chip on his shoulder. And for them to say he's the most overrated player right before the playoffs, that was a mistake. That was a bad thing to do.
So
Despite them losing game one, Russell Westbrook shouldn't have said nothing to Russell Westbrook.
fueling the fire, right?
Yep.
All right. Bucks Golden State. That's my final. He's got the Bucks losing the first round.
Alright, see, I took the risk on that one just because I know the Bucks won't make it past the second round.
So why don't you get him eliminated in the second round?
Well,
Your bracket's gonna be busted just like NCAA.
okay, it's not gonna be busted.
And I'm gonna have the bragging rights again.
Okay, was yours that much better than mine? Well, I got 30th place, you got 28th.
It doesn't matter how much I'm better. Like I got bragging rights. I'm 1 for 1. And
Yeah.
NHL, I mean, I think I'll beat you in there too. And then NBA, like, dude, that's a hat trick. Oh, you don't know hockey terms because hockey sucks. I forgot. Sorry. Drop your final predictions in for the NBA and your MVP. And tell this guy that the Lakers will not be going to the finals next year. Because the Lakers can't win if someone gets hurt. They got to stop their season right there until they get healthy.
I mean,
Dude.
it's the NBA that we have today. It's the
So.
NBA that we live in today.
When it
There's super teams,
revolves around LeBron James.
It revolves around super teams, and you gotta have a super team to compete nowadays.
Goodness. All right, well, that was your NBA segment. Please drop your MVP comments. I'm pretty sure you could enter a bracket because they're not locked. So I don't know if it's only because the who are submitted a bracket can edit, but they don't lock until the 15th. I don't get it because why wouldn't you
Yeah,
lock?
so don't be a cheater and change it either.
Today is the 15th. But
Bombshell.
why wouldn't they lock? Why would they
Bombshell.
lock it though? Anyways, try putting it in because they're not locked yet. Maybe it was the 18th. Try put them in. Drop your final predictions and MVP predictions.
Yeah, go on the page, find the link, make your NBA bracket, make a better bracket than him like I did.
NCAA loser. Let's switch it over to NHL. He'll stay quiet, so you're welcome. Patrick Kane named captain of the World USA team. Another huge honor for him. But the Blackhawks suck. Coach Quinville of the Florida.
Let's talk about that picture that you posted
Which one?
about the Chicago thing
Alright, I posted a picture about a Chicago thing.
with the different sports, like who.
Oh, there we go. So before I get into the series for hockey, I posted on my personal page. Probably should have posted it on Second Take. Who is the Chicago master, was it?
Yeah, it
Chicago
was like
sports team
something
master?
Like who's like pretty much like who's the face of Chicago sports is what it was.
White Sox was Yoan Moncada. Cubs was Javier Baez. Blackhawks Patrick Kane. Bears Khalil Mack. Bulls Laurie Markkinen.
Marketing.
drop your current Chicago's face of your team, and then maybe we'll do a pastime as well. So, who's the face of Chicago sports?
I mean, okay, they said Kane, right? Was it like what you said?
Yeah, I said Kane.
See, I don't necessarily disagree with that because even though I don't know hockey, I know that Kane is a great player and he's been there. He's been there a while. I would say give Mac a couple years and he could be right up there too, but he's only been there for a year. I don't think that he deserves none of the same things with like the other players. They just haven't been around long enough.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it was hard. It wasn't hard because, like you said, Kane has, I think, going on 10 years, maybe living a little past 10 years. And the longest guy on that list in Chicago is Javier Baez. And that's 3 years. So I don't even think Javier Baez is the face of the Cubs. I don't think Yoan Moncada is the face of the White Sox. So Khalil Mack might be the face of the Bears. I mean, you got Trubisky and
I would say he's kind of the face right now.
Khalil Mack's the face. Who's the face of the Bears? I know a lot of Bears fans around here. I'm not going to say anything because I'll offend some people about the Bears. Who's the face of the Chicago sports?
Matthew Stafford could be the face of the Bears. He helps the Bears win a lot of games.
Oh, smart one. Anyway, face Chicago sports. Drop it in. Back to the NHL. Basically, all I got to talk about series-wise is the 8th seed Columbus Blue Jackets up 3-0 series-wise to the President's Trophy, best team in the league, Tampa Bay Lightning. Sean and Mike, I'm going to earn my $100 back. So basically, it'll wash before I send my bill to you guys. They bet me $100. Don't bet me.
Wait, you won $100?
Dude, Tampa Bay's about to get swept. That's $100 in my pocket. Yeah, so drop your NHL playoff bracket or finals in there. I have Nashville and Columbus. You probably got...
I don't remember.
Yeah, he doesn't remember. So
I was just picking like which logos look cool.
he goes off the logo, so something a lot of the girls would do. Oh, that color looks pretty. Is that what you do?
I mean, yeah, I was looking at it. I was like looking like, okay, this logo against that logo, like the colors would be cool going against each other.
What logo looks stronger, right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah pretty much.
I mean, hey, we all have different approaches around here. Playoffs are live for NBA and NHL, so don't miss the action. Switching over gears to MLB. I don't know if it's Jackie Robinson Day or it has to be. Although I was talking to him before we went live, wouldn't it be April 2nd, 4-2? But 4:15 works. So every player in the MLB that is in action tonight wearing number 42, a great tribute and a salute to Jackie Robinson. In Chicago news, Yu Darvish looking for his first win of the year. He's 0-2. The last time I checked before we went live, Cubs were up 3-1. If anyone want to drop me the Cubs score so I can keep updated, please do that. Back to the White Sox. Tim Anderson looking hot. I think that would be the face of the White Sox right now. But that's a Cubs fan talking, so I could be wrong. We got a comment?
They're asking about our objects.
What happened?
I don't know, they just have questions about our objects today.
It's Cool Whips. Cool Whip is in the object, Miss Karasoff. In the Cool Whip container. Why are they questioning?
Why are you guys questioning us today? What's up?
Whoa, is this a Q&A?
You guys coming at us? I just feel like I kind of feel attacked. I kind of feel under
Off
pressure.
script. Alright. No, everything is here, guys. This is a full 24-pack. Full Mountain Dew. Full Cool Whip. So, it's a good setup we got here. Chris Davis, 0-54 slump.
Sounds like me back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, that's like I think it was a record or close to a record.
But he broke out of it, right?
He broke out of it, and now he's like tearing it up, like 2 doubles, a homer. So we'll see what's going on there. Any other comments?
Sham says this is a Q&A now. Sham, fire some questions at us.
Sham, fire it up. Rapid questions with Sham. Sham, if you want to come on the show next week, fill out the application. The application is just sending me or him a message. That's all it is.
Her?
Well, you like the color of the logo, so I got all confused. If anybody wants to come on Second Take, we are always taking guests who want to come on the live.
You just
Again.
gotta pay $20.
I guess that's what we're doing.
I'm
So
joking.
he's pocketing all 20. I get nothing. Just send us a message. We will be more than happy to get you guys on there. He's gonna take it over from here for NFL.
They challenged us to a 2v2 basketball game.
Who?
Shaham and Bubby.
Shaham and Bubby. They're gonna challenge us.
They did.
Challenge accepted. Right?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. We already got Sean and Mike coming at us for
We're about to go
basketball.
2-0.
Yeah, that's
We're
gonna be
pretty
2-0.
much gonna win the finals this summer.
Dude, second take's gonna get trophies.
Yeah, we'll get one trophy.
That'll
here,
hold our flag together.
one trophy here from Shaham and Bubby.
Yep.
Another one from Mike and Sean. And if anyone else wants to challenge us, feel free.
You guys should hold us an award show, because we hold you guys an award show. Take it over from here.
We also miss Serta on the show. Okay, with
We mentioned
NFL,
that in open.
we're going to talk about the most obvious thing going on right now. Russell Wilson gave the Seahawks a deadline for a new contract, or he will not sign there to play next year. Or I think he actually has a year left on his contract. I think he'll request a trade. If they don't meet the deadline, which is tonight, midnight, do they get it done or no? You don't think they get it done? Do you think he's bluffing, or do you think he wants out?
No, I think it was just a kind of let them know you're here kind of
power
thing.
move
Like,
kind of thing?
yeah, just let them know that you're paying attention. And I don't think he's gonna go anywhere right now to surprise us. Like Tommy said, maybe request a trade midseason or finish out this year with Seattle to end his contract and then look somewhere else. I like Wilson. I mean, he's probably the best mobile quarterback. Because I know one guy in particular that Tommy's thinking about. Russell Wilson definitely has him beat. So I think he finishes out the year in Seattle and then signed to a mega deal, so to say. Maybe replace Eli Manning. I know we were talking about that early in the open. So, what are your
I think for the Seahawks, they have to get this deal done. I think that even if they have pieces around there, like their run game, they got two young, good running backs now. Russell Wilson kind of holds everything together. They definitely need him if they want to contend. But I also think they think about that right now is it worth signing him to probably a record-breaking contract if your team's not going to be able to compete? I think that is a thing that the front office is really discussing is are they going to be in position to compete? And if not, is it worth bringing him back for all that money that they're going to have to? I say they have to do it. I think they'll get it done. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a notification right now that they got the deal done. I think if they don't get it done, he will request the trade. And I think we could see him playing for a different team next year if they don't get the deal done by tonight.
So start of the season.
Yeah.
Wilson will be in a new uniform.
If they don't get the deal done by tonight, or maybe he ends up giving them to tomorrow morning. I could see something happening tomorrow morning, just because they might have most of it done.
So do you think this deal will be long term?
Yeah, it's gonna be long term. It's gonna be
Big
probably
bucks?
the biggest contract ever. And that's just because Russell Wilson got really lucky with when he hit a certain age in a certain year. There's been other guys who their contracts end when they're a little older. I think he just turned 30, so he's got a good 5, 6, 7 years left in him. I think perfect time for him, and he's gonna get a record-breaking contract.
So if we could predict the future, not asking for a team, I'm asking, does he go to a contender? Or does he just go to a team that has the money and needs a quarterback?
As overrated as I thought Russell Wilson was before, I think that, well, first of all, I think he wants to go to a contender. Second of all, I think that he's a player that makes a team a contender right away by coming onto that team. Even if he's in a bad situation with not a lot of receivers, not a good run game, he's not a quarterback who turns the ball over. He gets it done with his legs as well through the air. So I think that he could make a team a contender, but I think he prefers to go to a contender. There was rumors about New York.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him going to New York.
Replace your boy.
Replace Eli. The man should have retired a couple years ago. And if Russell Wilson goes there to New York, then maybe they won't be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. Because then they have more than Saquon Barkley. And I really like Sterling Shepard. I liked him since he was in Oklahoma. But I don't know alone if he's enough to be a number 1 receiver. I don't think Golden Tate, which again we'll talk about in a little bit, I don't think Golden Tate is going to be very good there. But Russell Wilson, that would change that whole team around.
Game changer.
Game changer for sure.
All right, well, like you said, the deal is supposed to be done by midnight. Let's see if the Seahawks get it done. He thinks that they will. I think they won't. So let's see if Wilson is a man of his word, and see if he wants to go somewhere else.
Okay, now I was reading an article on NFL.com, and they had some projections for wide receivers with their new teams because there's a lot of them. So I'm going to read some of them out, and we're going to go like over, under if we think that they were spot on their projections. Our first one, we're going to start with the biggest move, one of the biggest moves of all time, Odell to Cleveland. They have 90 catches, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think they're close on this one. I would say probably a little more. I would go closer to 100 catches. I could see him getting like 97 just because Jarvis Landry's there too. I'm going to go 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Gotta make sure all 24 are in here. All 24 are in here, guys. I don't know what his deal is. I'm going under.
Under? Do you have any like...
1,300 yards is absurd for him. And especially look who's throwing to him. 90.
Whoa, look who's throwing to him now? Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. So I said 7 touchdowns. 90 catches, but probably short gains. Like, look, it's going to surprise you guys. I mean, you guys hate the messenger like me, but I'll prove you guys wrong.
Odell is going to prove people wrong.
We'll see.
This year. Another one, I know he's going to go the opposite way.
Participate in this, guys. Over, under, Odell.
We're going to go Golden Tate with the New York Giants now. They have him projected 70 catches, 950 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think they overshot really far on this one. I'd say maybe around 70 catches, probably a little under. I'd say like 60 catches. 1,000 yards, he's going to get nowhere close to 1,000 yards. I'd say like 700 yards. And the 6 touchdowns, I'm going to go like 3. I think he's way under.
Golden Tate will be the Giants' red zone guy. So Odell maybe will get him downfield. Landry might get him downfield. Golden Tate will have, is that 8 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Golden Tate will have more touchdowns than Odell. That's where I'm going. So I'm going Golden Tate over.
Golden Tate will have more touchdowns than Odell.
That's right. He's the red zone kind of guy in New York. It's all there. It's all there.
No, I don't think so. I think you're wrong on that. Deshaun Jackson is making his homecoming to Philadelphia. I do think this is a good move, and I do think he'll play good. Again, I think they overshot on this one, though. They have 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. I'm going to go closer to, like, 55, 60 yards, 60 catches, 900 yards. The 6 touchdowns I'm okay with. I just don't think that Deshaun Jackson's a guy who's going to go out there and get you 70 catches. He's a field stretcher. He's going to make the big plays. He's not really consistent. He's not a route runner. He's not going to get you those catches throughout the game. So that's why I'm going lower with the catches, and I'm still going high with the yards because I think he's had the most big plays like since he's been in the league. So he'll get his yards. That's for sure.
I'm gonna stay right at the line. Not an over under. I'm gonna stay with the projection. I'm gonna stay with the projection on that one.
Okay. Here's one that I talked about as a good move. Tyrell Williams to the Raiders. They have him 55 catches, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think they hit this one right on. Yeah, I would say he's going to be around. He's going to be a really good complement to Antonio Brown.
Staying with projection? I think the Raiders are a lack of a team. I think it's going to be a terrible year for John Gruden and Antonio Brown. And I won't be surprised if Antonio Brown wants out of Oakland. After all this shenanigans that he pulled at Pittsburgh, I'm going under. You bring me any other Oakland player, I'm going under. I don't see anything good coming out of Oakland.
Okay. We have Randall Cobb to the Cowboys this year. They have him projected at 50 catches, 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, I think they're kind of lowballing him here. I'm going to say Randall Cobb gets around 60 catches. Closer, I'd say 850 plus yards. And 4 touchdowns. I think he's going to get a lot of touchdowns. I'll double that. I'll go 8.
I'll agree with you. So I'm going to go the over.
Yeah, I think Randall Cobb's been kind of forgotten about, really, the last couple of years. I think he's a good receiver, and he'll go and show people that he's still here.
And on a good team, too.
We got John Brown on the Bills. This one, I really don't understand why they projected what they did. I like John Brown. I like his story, but they have him going 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Again, he's not a guy who's going to get you a bunch of catches. He's not a route runner. He's a kind of a field stretcher, too, a smaller guy. And the Bills, like, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Josh Allen's got talent, but he's going to need at least another year to develop. I mean, I'm looking closer at like 40 catches, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, kind of
So you're cutting everything in
half. Yeah.
All right, I'm going the under. I don't know if I'm going to be this intense as he is with the butcher knife, cutting everything in half, but I'm gonna go the under.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Bills are not an impressive team. And a lot of people actually thought the Bills made really good moves at receiver, and I thought they made horrible moves at receiver. You brought in John Brown, who, like I said, isn't a top receiver. He doesn't run all the routes. He's not that kind of guy. And then Cole Beasley, who's getting older and just isn't what they...
I like Beasley.
I like Beasley. I just don't think that's what... I think they needed to bring in a top guy, and they didn't.
Antonio Brown, we had that rumor. Remember?
Yeah.
Was that their guy or no? That was a good decision that they opted out, or I don't know if it fell through or...
Kind of sounds like they made it seem like Antonio Brown didn't want it to happen.
Good.
I mean, he went to a team that's just as bad.
Worse,
yeah. Steelers is another one I touched on. Dante Moncrief, they have him 60 catches, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'm going to give him a little more catches. I'd say he's going to hit around 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like I said, opposite of Juju Smith, I think he's going to be huge this year.
Juju's falling off? Is that where you're going with?
No, because
okay.
Juju Smith is going to be their number 1 now. Yeah. This is going to be their number 2. He's sliding in.
Yeah, I'm staying with that projection.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good there. The Jets, you got Jamison Crowder, who last year played for the Redskins. They have him at 60 catches, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'd say they're about right on that. He's a talented guy, but the Jets have a bunch of receivers that they use a lot. And there's not really a top guy there. I think Quincy Enunwa, I may have butchered that big time, but I think he's going to have a huge year. I think that's their top guy. And then they also have Anderson, who's a good player. They have Jermaine Kearse still. They've got a lot of weapons here. So this is at its best scenario. I think they got that right.
I'm just going to go a tad bit over because I see the Jets making a lot of improvements. The Jets had a busy offseason and they weren't terrible. I mean, they're stuck in that division that's not good, but you're never going to win it as long as Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are around. Because I don't see New England forfeiting that division at all. So I feel like the Jets will never have a shot to win the division. As long as New England is New England. So I'm going over.
Okay. We got Jordan Matthews, who is now on the 49ers, was on the Eagles. See, this is one that I think Jordan Matthews is one of those guys who's going to come out and have a huge year because he's another forgotten guy. He got pushed out of Philadelphia twice now. His first year was actually his best year. His first couple years were okay, and since then, they haven't been using him as much. He hasn't been as productive. I think he goes to the 49ers, who they have Garoppolo. What was it, a torn ACL that he had? Okay, so you have
ACL.
If Garoppolo's back at that time, they have Garoppolo who's going to sling it. He's going to throw it. He's going to make a lot of yards. He's going to make a lot of throws. So I think Jordan Matthews is going to have a huge chance at putting up huge numbers this year, honestly, and being the number 1 guy in San Francisco. They have him at 20 catches, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm going 70 catches, 900 plus yards, over 5 touchdowns.
I'm going over, but that's it. Garoppolo is in. Who's the backup?
Even if he's not, it's that guy who, the smaller school kid. Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
Nate Mullins.
If Garoppolo's in, I'm going over. If Mullins is in.
Mullins was still slinging it, too. I think Mullins played really good. Mullins could be a name you see floating around next offseason, I think.
Interesting.
Okay, here's his Raiders guy, Antonio Brown. They have him at 85 catches, 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns, which is actually like lower than what he did last year and the last couple of years. I do agree that it'll be lower. I think the 9 touchdowns is a little high. But then again, you've seen him get a lot of touchdowns last year, and I felt like that was really forced. Like, Roethlisberger was forcing the ball to him on a lot of touchdowns because his yards weren't there and his catches weren't there because Juju Smith was leading him in every other receiving category, and they knew Brown wasn't happy. So, I mean, he gets touchdowns, but I think that was forced. I'm going to say he's around 80 catches, just breaks 1,000 yards, and he's going to be under 9 touchdowns. I'd say more like 6.
Yeah, I agree with you on the touchdowns. I don't think he comes close to 1,000 yards. I'm going 800, the most.
Really?
So I'm going over. Under. I'm going under a lot.
All right, just a couple more here, guys. We got Cole Beasley, 50 catches, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns on his new team, the Bills. Best scenario, I think they got it.
I like Beasley. I thought he was underrated with the Cowboys. I'm going over. That's just because I like him. And feel like he could be a game changer in Buffalo.
You think he's going to be a game changer?
I think so.
I like Beasley. I just don't think he's that. He's not a game changer. He's a possession guy. We got the Colts, Devin Funchess, coming over from Carolina. They have him at 45 catches, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think they're right on that. I don't think he's a game changer by any means. I think they actually go out and get another receiver, which I'll talk about in a different topic. So, yeah, he's going to end up being their 2 in the beginning of the season, maybe kind of fall out into the 3, 4th wide receiver. I think they're right with that prediction. They spread it around, too. They still got T.Y. Hilton, and they got Ebron, who's coming off a Pro Bowl year.
I think, again, it all depends on how the quarterback does.
You don't believe in
your
luck?
Your boy.
You don't believe in luck?
I'm saying I do. Comeback player of the year. It all depends on what he does.
Okay.
So that really depends on how he does.
They got Cordero Patterson, which we know is on the Bears now, going for 35 catches, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 kick return touchdowns. I mean, I guess this is pretty accurate to me. I'd say maybe not 35 catches. I don't think he's going to be like the 5th receiver. I know they're going to try to use him on offense, but I don't think they're actually going to end up using him that much. I like that they threw in the 2 rushing and 2 kick return touchdowns. He'll definitely help the team and make an impact. I just don't see it being as a receiver, so I go under with the receiving stats.
I agree with him. I think we talked about it when we had Mike on here, or an episode with John. I think Devin Hester kind of reminds that whole move. We'll see how he transitions into Chicago, but I think it's going to be more of a late Devin Hester role, just the kick return. I mean, you'll see some routes that he runs, but
yeah, in some place he'll get the ball as a runner. Yeah, it's not going to be huge on the offensive part. And our last one, a guy Jacob likes and a team that he likes, Danny Amendola to the Lions. They have him at 50 catches, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm not going to go much into that. I think they're right, if that.
Why do you think they're right? Because Matthew Stafford can still sling it.
They're
I'm
not
going over.
good.
5 touchdowns, little over 500 yards. So
around the same. So you're still around.
I'm still going over.
I think he's getting a little older. He's
Guys,
not the same player. It's not a game-changing move at all. Bring in Amendola.
Dude, any of the moves the Lions made weren't game changers, dude.
Trey Flowers was huge. Trey Flowers might have been the best free agent signing in all the NFL.
Are you okay?
That was the Lions.
That's the first time you're admitting this.
I've said
It's
Trey
online,
Flowers
that's why.
that I like Trey
It's
Flowers.
online.
I like that signing. I think that was one of the best moves in all of free agency. Besides that, the Lions are such a bad team that they would need to flip their whole roster to have a chance to compete in the division that they're in with the Bears and the Packers and the Vikings.
All right, top 2 teams in the NFC North. I'm not going to go in which order. Vikings, Lions. It's going to be a breakout year. I know the Bears are Super Bowl or bust, but it's going to be a bust. I hate to say it to you guys, but it's going to be a bust. So, Matthew Stafford coming off a wicked offseason, all this obstacles that he has to go through. he's going to be ready to report to the off-season workouts and off-season practices, and he's going to get his mind right. So, and the Bears open up against the Packers. That's an 0-1 for the Bears start. So, look how it happened last year. 35-0 half. And then you guys end up losing. But it's the coach's fault, like Tommy says about the Lakers. The Lakers and Bears have a lot in common. Jacob, stop. Sorry, Grandma.
Who's high?
I am. Probably me. So,
Oh, yeah.
you want to do our breakdown division?
Did you want to talk about?
I'm going to do that after.
Okay, well, I got one more quick thing here with the draft coming up next week, I think. I'll probably touch on it a little bit of our episode next week. But here I'm going to give you 3 guys that I think are perfect matches here. You're seeing a lot of guys making articles about who would be perfect matches. I got 3 of them here for you. I'm going Drew Lock with the Dolphins. That's Missouri's quarterback. The Dolphins, they got rid of Tannehill, which was a great move for their future there.
Good steal for, where'd he go?
Tennessee to
Good
be
steal.
the backup.
Dude, yeah, that's a good duo. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Wait till we break down that division.
Drew Lock's got a lot of talent. He'll be able to develop behind Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hopefully Fitzpatrick loses a couple of LBs there. Have you seen him? Put on some weight. But I think Fitzpatrick's a good guy to learn behind. Drew Lock is going to be the future there in Miami. It'll give him something to be excited for once. Maybe they won't trade him away like they did the rest of their old, good, young talent with Jay Ajayi and Jarvis Landry. Hopefully he stays there and gives those fans something to be excited about. I'm sticking with the quarterbacks here. I brought it up before. Jarrett Stidham from Auburn to the Patriots. Match made in heaven. It's perfect. I hope someone on the Patriots staff is watching this. They probably are. The Patriots find guys out of nowhere. They probably go and look at videos like Second Take and get some opinions.
Tag the New England Patriots.
Yeah, tag the Patriots. Jarrett Stidham to New England. Gets a couple years to learn behind the GOAT. I think that's a perfect match there. We're going to go wide receiver on my last one. I know I talked about A.J. Brown being my top guy, which I still believe he is. But N'Keal Harry out of Arizona State he's a great player. I think that this is the guy that the Colts get to come be their legit number 2. I think besides T.Y. Hilton, and then with Funchess coming in every now and then, I think Harry could have a huge year there in Indianapolis. Last topic, we're going to talk about the AFC West, which we kind of briefly talked about.
Division breakdown.
Division breakdown.
It's a weekly segment. So, you know how they cue the music?
Yeah, I was just hitting it.
I know you were. So.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. I think the Chiefs fall off, and mostly because Tyreek Hill. Nothing's happened yet. He could end up playing the whole year. Mm-hmm. Off of past experience, like with Adrian Peterson was the case I brought up, I'm saying something happens and Tyreek Hill misses the whole year, if not most of the whole year. I don't think they're the same team. He's a huge threat, and he takes a lot of attention from the defense, being on the field in general. And so to me, with Tyreek Hill out, the Chargers win the division. I got the Chargers going 12-4. Second, the Chiefs with a much less impressive record of 10-6. And honestly, I think even though I have the Broncos being third, I think this could be a division that 3 teams make it out of the playoff, make it out of the division to make it to the playoffs. With the Broncos, with Joe Flacco having his best year ever. Like I said before, he will have his best year ever. They have Phillip Lindsay. They have Cortland Sutton. They got some pieces there. So I can see them competing to at least make the playoffs. The division is just too tight right now. But, I mean, one game under the Chiefs, they're right there. The Chiefs fans will be worried. You have Tyreek Hill, if he misses all year, and then you have a whole season without Kareem Hunt. They didn't play a whole season without Kareem Hunt last year. They got going. They had their confidence up. I think they'll feel it this year, along, especially with Hill. If you have Hunt and Hill out, they're going to have to make some changes. And then in last, I got the Raiders. Just nothing's changed there.
Oakland will be Oakland.
Yeah, all you did was bring in a diva who's going to cause more locker room tension. You have a coach who, I don't know what's wrong with him. This is a guy growing up I heard all these good things about. and now he just seems crazy. I don't know what he's doing or what his plan is. He keeps saying he has a plan. I don't see it.
Where is it?
Yeah, where is it? I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, take your time, because that's just, if you have him on the schedule, that should be a cakewalk.
Easy win.
Should be. I'll break it down my division, because this is where you guys seem to comment, because you guys love what he says. So I'll break down mine. Chargers taking first. Hey, we agree on that.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my guy, Joe Flacco, taking second.
Okay.
Like he said, KC falls,
Yeah.
and
not a far-fetched thing.
Oakland will be Oakland. So, Chargers, Denver, Kansas City, Oakland.
Do you think Kansas City is still going to contend? Are they still a playoff team without Hill?
Yeah, because you hate to hate Mahomes, and you hate to go against him. I mean, people go against Brady. That's because he's old and he has so many wins under his belt and so many accolades. But Mahomes, young quarterback, fresh off an MVP year, how can you say no to him, or how can you go against him?
You think his stats fall? I think his stats
Yeah.
fall pretty drastically without
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill being in there. I mean, what did he have last year? 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards?
Yeah, dude.
I think you're looking at less touchdowns, less yards. I mean, maybe the yards are still up there. I don't know. Tyreek Hill does a lot with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see, because
You're going to see everything drop, and I think the one thing you'll see rise with Hill, and especially without Kareem Hunt, is the interceptions. When you have a guy like that missing his top running back and his top receiver, a guy who just slings it around, the mistakes are going to add up, I think.
Well, drop your AFC prediction, guys. We got Chargers, Denver, Kansas City, Oakland.
I got one more thing.
He's got one more thing to talk
One
about.
last little topic. My hidden gem for this NFL season coming up, which is a guy that I think a lot of people don't know and or talk about, is Deontay Foreman on the Houston Texans. He was their second string running back last year. He kind of played some. He was hurt, so he didn't play a whole lot. Lamar Miller has never really been a huge, a really good guy stat-wise. He does a lot receiving and rushing together, but I think Deontay Foreman is going to have a huge year there and take over as their running back for many years to come. So you heard
How
it
do you
here
see
first.
Houston?
Houston doing?
Yeah. I mean, that might be a preview for our next division to break down.
I think that Deshaun Watson
That's
is
what I got.
one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think he was coming back from an injury. He slowly progressed through the year. I think next year, him, Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, Cam Newton are all going to be gunning for the MVP next year.
You know what, our last topic, not topic, but our last little segment. You know what Deshaun Watson's injury reminded me of?
What?
Teddy Bridgewater's injury. Started off promising. I'm not saying he's not promising anymore, but started off like, hey, we actually got like a gunslinger. Like, he can run, he can throw, he's like a good quarterback. And so was Teddy Bridgewater back in Minnesota.
Less
And-
impressive, though. Teddy
For sure.
Bridgewater was kind of what they needed at the time, which was a game manager.
I still like Teddy Bridgewater.
I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like him a lot, and I hope he ends up starting eventually. He should take over for Breeze at some point when Breeze is done playing.
And he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I give Breeze a couple more years. Do you think that, off topic, but Brady, how many years do you think he's got left?
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm not
42.
saying
He's going to be 42 this next year.
I'm not saying Gronk was a huge factor this year. I mean, he won him
But
the
he
Super
was-
Bowl.
he was-
won him the Super Bowl.
I think people are actually, like, overlooking what Gronk meant to that team because they look at his stats and they look at his receiving stats. Gronk was a lot more than just a receiver. If you watch him block, he was huge. They were able to do so much out of the run game because Gronk was the best blocking tight end in the league. And that's another reason Gronk is considered one of the best of all time. And maybe, for some, the best of all time was in the pass game, he was a mismatch. And then blocking, he was an animal. So I think they will miss him a lot. I don't think Brady's going to fall off too much this year. I really don't know. I can't call how much he's got left. He just keeps going every time we want to doubt him.
Yeah, don't doubt him. I mean, we're going to see how Brady performs without Gronk. I'm not saying Gronk wasn't a factor, because he was. He won him the Super Bowl with that huge play. I mean, 5 minutes left, 7 minutes left at the end of the Super Bowl. So, I mean, let's just see how it unfold.
They already brought in a decent replacement. I mean, you can't replace Gronk, but a guy they brought in was Austin Seferian-Jenkins. A lot of people, again, probably don't know him that well. I think he's a really good player, and he'll have a really good year being their number one guy if they choose to keep him as the number one guy, because a lot of people think that they'll draft a tight end in the first round, which could and probably will happen. But if Seferian-Jenkins ends up being that top guy, I think he could have a big year.
For the record, I will cry when Tom Brady's done playing. I'll record it for you guys, but I will shed tears. I don't know how I could cope. I mean, I don't own many football jerseys, but the two that I own, I only have two guys. That's two teams. Our quarterbacks, Stafford and Brady. So, and Stafford's gonna come up. So, and Brady's already up. So those two jerseys are gonna be big sellers. Any other thing else for NFL?
I've got like 4 Cam Newton jerseys.
Old, worn out, broken.
MVP.
Holes in 'em.
MVP.
Before we close out the show, anything else you want to say?
Nope.
And before we close out the show, just want to give a honorable mention, because that's what we do on Second Take. We love to give out shout-outs. Please let us know if we can shout something out, if we miss something. Shout-outs. We love to inform you guys on what's going around the town and sports news. Madison Conway and the Bremen Braves are off to a great start. I say that because I got stats right here in front of me. From the newspaper, the local newspaper. So, congratulations, sister. I won't tell the air that you get all your skills and talent from your brother. Maybe you got another brother, but ask him. He see me, right? I mean, just for those who don't
Freshman
know.
year, this man hit a bomb.
Inside the park home run.
Rich South.
Yeah.
But no, that would have it was
Dude.
inside technically, but that was because they had no fence.
No fence,
It was
but-
like by the parking lot.
Dude.
Dude, it was a rope.
It was like on Waveland Avenue if you're at Wrigley. I don't know. I pitched that game too, so you remember that?
Yep, and we tied. We
Yeah.
tied one of the worst teams
So-
in the state.
I don't know how that happened, but I did hit inside the park home run before, so
Oh, and I had my first strikeout of the season that game against a guy who was throwing like 40.
imagine having to sit next to him on the bus on the way home. Pouting all the way home, not talking
Just
to me.
to explain, that kind of explains our team a little, but also, I didn't drive there with the team. I drove there, like, I got a ride from, I think, my sister, and I showed up a minute before the game started, and I hit leadoff. And then I struck out.
LeBron, that's what it is.
So that
Lack
kind of
preparation.
sums up our freshman year team. The fan commenting a lot, Shaham, he was also a part of that team. We weren't very good, but we had a lot of fun. So.
Freshman baseball for you. Back to Madison Conway Varsity Braves softball. Batting a 718 batting average. 2 home runs, 27 RBIs. I don't know what I did, but whatever I told her and whatever mechanics I gave her, kudos to you. And this is what Tommy taught her, the pitching. A $1.89 ERA, 87 strikeouts, and 62 innings of work. I don't know the math, like strikeouts per inning on average, but it's like,
She's shutting it down.
yeah, she's wheeling and dealing. So congratulations, sister. Congratulations to the Braves. If any other the Braves want their stats congratulated on Second Take, please send us messages. Shaham, anyone else, they want a seat on Second Take next to me and Tommy, we will be more than happy
Or
to
a
be on.
2-on-2 challenge.
2-on-2. We will also stream any basketball, softball, hockey, football, basketball, golf. You want to go golfing?
Yeah.
Get 2 golf partners. We'll win the Masters.
Tennis. Remember
Tennis?
back in the day?
Yeah. Croquet. Beanbags.
Beanbags.
We need work.
Big
So,
things coming this summer from us in beanbags.
congratulations, Tiger Woods.
Yep.
Winning the Masters. We mentioned that in the Open. Thoughts going to Paris, Notre Dame Cathedral. Braves, keep doing your thing. And hopefully the Cubs are going to get a win tonight. And Matthew Stafford, MVP.
Cam Newton, MVP. You heard it here.
So long, everybody. Second Take. It's been a good one. We'll see you guys next week.